Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to this week's After Church Tea Time. Jeff was giving us a lot of juicy pieces of really valuable information. I think the theme of it today has been purifying consciousness and listening to the voice of love rather than the voice of fear. And on that note, I'm going to hand over to my wonderful friend Paco to see if you can shed any insights on this.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. I love the sermon where Jeff and Shaleia shared how we can all together create heaven on earth by loving ourselves. It was very, very loving again and very compassionate how they were sharing with us that it is really about loving ourselves and that everyone is just loving themselves, and in this we create this peace on earth where we all can experience something different, something that is way better than we can imagine, something that is way more loving than we can imagine just by doing this one act, loving oneself, and always keep going, loving oneself no matter what is in front of you. Just staying present with yourself and respecting how you feel about a situation or your life, and love yourself. It was the main message was when you just do this one thing, loving yourself in the uncomfortable situations in your life, you come closer to the people that also decide and choose to love. And this way we work together on this one project, bringing peace in this world and creating heaven on earth, like we say. And we do it together when every person just chooses to love themselves whenever there is something in their reality that does not feel good. So when I choose to love myself because my workplace does not feel good, I work on this one thing that we do together. It's just that. And it's when Jeff was sharing that, it sounded so simple. And even it sounds so simple, it's so powerful because I just do this. This is kind of my responsibility. I love myself. Something feels not good in my reality. And in doing that, I bring love into the world in this area of living together with people. And that felt very, very, it motivated a lot, to be honest, to just love myself in all these places in my life that feel not good, where I may numb out to something uncomfortable and just go there and love myself. It can be that easy to just love myself. And this is the main thing I received from this sermon, that when I focus on myself and what is in front of me, and I just do this act of loving myself, then I work together with all the others who choose love and not fear. Yeah, this was for me the main takeaway.
Yeah, the very, very strong message of loving yourself and the simplicity of it. I feel that some people may find it a little bit hard to believe that you can have everything just through the act of self-love. There was a twin flame Ascension school class where Jeff would say to people, well, we're wanting to attain this goal, this goal, this goal. How? Through self-love. Get away from me. Don't be so ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be exciting or difficult. I think people think it has to be hard, and so they make it hard for themselves. The act of self-love isn't hard. It shouldn't be exhausting. It shouldn't be draining. Love is not draining. If there's a place within you that's needing love, then it's not like you have to shoehorn and force the love into that space. No, you just have to invite it. Just invite God into that place. And then you let God do the work. Let the love do the work. So it's not hard work for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we are live. Yeah, what I loved about Jeff sharing this, doing it together and bringing heaven on earth is just you're realizing that there are techniques how you can love yourself. There are ways how you can deal with these uncomfortable situations he was explaining when you realize there is something that is not good. And I don't want to give power to fear anymore. I choose now to give power to love. There, there you can do something actively. You can support yourself. You don't need to stay in this fear or whatever is you're experiencing right now. And in the teachings of union, we have the mirror exercise, which supports us when we are in situations where we experience fear or any other uncomfortable feeling, maybe anger about something or an upset, that helps us to love ourselves in this place. You can do other methods in loving yourself and purifying your consciousness and letting go of fear and inviting love. And we in the teachings of union use the mirror exercise, which is a 4-step tool that is very supportive in just loving yourself. And it's the cool thing about it, what he was reminding us in this sermon, is that everyone can do it. Everyone can do it because it's simple and again, so powerful because it helps you to just love yourself and to realize also this feels not good. First of all, to respect and accept how you feel right now and allowing yourself to feel this. You don't need to ignore it. You don't need to suppress it. This is not the way how we create heaven on earth in numbing out to anything or ignoring anything. No, it's about being really present with yourself and really allowing yourself your true feelings and how you really feel about something. He said it's okay. Just allow yourself to recognize this does not feel good. I'm in fear here. And then you can do this 4-step technique and love yourself there. And it's, I feel so hopeful when I listen to these words because with just realizing it can be that easy to love myself when I realize there is something that does not function. I don't like this in my life. Then I just can love myself. And it can be that easy when I just take time for myself, take responsibility for myself, and just be present with where I'm at and realizing, oh, maybe I gave way too much power to fear here and just recognizing it and staying present and seeing, okay, I can change it by just choosing to love myself here and use the support I have, like the mirror exercise. He was reminding us about that too. And that felt very to approach it in a very compassionate way, to just remind yourself, yeah, you can just love yourself, yeah, and you can do it with the mirror exercise. I like that very much, that he reminded us in such a very loving and compassionate way. We can just love ourselves.
what I also felt is when Jeff mentioned that God is just not a man sitting in heaven and carefully observing what we are doing and what we are moving through. But it's just, that our goal is God, where we are living this one complete life with God. And to make it transition through and process is through, like Paco also mentioned, is through loving ourselves completely, because that's how we have been created. That's how we can only be present in with ourselves and knowing that our source is living with us. So that is, I think, that was very important, because while we are moving through this journey is where we keep getting one or the next um, block or the obstacle where that we keep moving through. And it's not for us to just get laid back on the path or get restless about more challenges, but it's just to keep moving towards our goal, so that it helps us expand into more of our consciousness, more of our love, so that we are able to ground more into joy and peace. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you mentioned compassion, and that is really, really important at this time. You have to be gentle with yourself at this time. Yeah, I was watching a YouTube video on increasing flexibility, and one way to do it is by gently stretching or relaxing the nerves. And she said, no, you must be gentle with your nerves. You can't do it really hard, like when you're doing it with your muscles. It won't work unless you're gentle. And it's the same with the inner work and the self-love. You have to have, I've said this before, lots and lots of compassion for yourself at all times. It's the only way you're going to move forward. I mean, if there's any feelings of unworthiness, any feelings of perhaps being undeserving of compassion. Maybe you were brought up to believe that you needed some sort of tough love. Well, none of that's true. You do deserve gentleness, tenderness, compassion, care, attention, loving presence, and compassion. Because sometimes when you go to a hurt place within and you're not sure what this place needs, or it doesn't feel appropriate just to throw love at that place. So sometimes all that place is asking for is for you to sit with yourself here, to show up for yourself in loving presence and just be with yourself for however long it takes for the upset to dissolve. And then you might need to bring another feeling to that place, or maybe that's enough to complete it. It depends on the individual upset. So yeah, presence and compassion and peace all go hand in hand. They're like very important cornerstones of being able to move forward and go deeper and feel safe in going deeper and build safety and trust and confidence within yourself. But it's all heading in the right direction. It's all taking you to where you desire to be. All roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to union, or heaven on earth. It's all going back to God. Union with God, union with all of yourself, union with your twin flame.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And it's the live example was when it was like that. It was Jeff and Shelia who started the work. They used to say, like, listen to us, you can get into the harmonious union. And then now it's like the entire team working on it towards it. And like, it's just like that fusion chain reaction that you just have to love yourself unconditionally. You have to keep loving yourself. And that really impacts that it cultivates, it helps in cultivating more and more union and bringing more union together, and bringing that heaven on earth.
Yeah, I love that too when they were sharing that God is here in people, so it's about people, and that we are here on earth and love ourselves, and this way we matter. It matters that you love yourself. It matters that you make this choice, and this is how we in truth all work together. And Jeff said, just listen to God through whom God speaks, and you will feel it because the voice of God is loving, and that you can trust God speaking to you. And when God is inviting you to love yourself, it's just what we all desire, a peaceful living together. And it's about together. Not that everyone is in their own corner and there I love myself. It's about sharing love also. It's for me like sharing love, doing it together, not separate. Because Jeff was also reminding us separation is an illusion. And we don't need to give power to the lie. It's about letting go of the lie and seeing the truth that we are one, also with our twin flame, with our one true love. And in loving ourselves, we can see the truth that peace and grounding into this joy is what is the truth, and this is heaven. Heaven is not when you look up and then there is heaven. Heaven can be here on earth as we love ourselves. It was so nice, he was repeating it so often, but it felt like something new because every time you love yourself, you will feel new, will feel different, you will feel better, you will feel, wow, this is who I am. I'm this joyful, loving, peaceful person who desires to share love and allow God to come through and share love and support others to find a way to love themselves and find also the truth. And the truth is not separation, the truth is oneness and being together. Because it was also a sermon before this wonderful wedding of unionists Daniel and Christina, and so there were a lot of unionists together and sharing love and celebrating a life wedding from twin flames. So it was celebrating this togetherness that is true. Just people who love themselves came together because of love, and that is so beautiful. It's a very wonderful sermon which shows what can happen when you love yourself. Even maybe you think I am somewhere on the world and I don't know, and I never saw someone live. I'm alone here in my apartment. You can meet all of these people who choose love as you keep going loving yourself all the way through. Every time, again and again, you love yourself, and you will live your heaven on earth together with the people who choose love. Yeah, it was very cool.
Yes, and it's also about listening to the voice of love, and as you said earlier, focusing on love instead of fear, putting your energy into love instead of fear. But how do you know the difference? Well, that one's easy. One feels good and the other feels bad. And I don't think you need me to tell you which is which there. Certainly, if you're feeling bad about something or if you're upset about something, it's because you're believing in a lie. If you believe that you can't have what you desire, that thought feels bad. And that's how you instantly know that it comes from ego and not from God. And so once you realize this, then you can choose to release the bad feeling lie and you bring the truth there that everything you desire is already yours and always has been. And it's for you. And God wants you to have all of your good. So It's a question of being mindful and just catching the bad feeling thoughts as soon as they arise and releasing them and bringing the truth there and loving yourself there before they start to grow and get out of hand. Because maybe at the beginning of the work, before gaining some mastery, it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole of bad feelings and then end up sitting in the bad feelings. And it can take a while to actually get the hang of that, get the hang of actually realizing what's happening, what habits of mind are not helpful and not serving you, and you want to put an end to that paradigm. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. Just keep going, and you will be. You'll get the aha moment, the light bulb moment. You'll just come to a point where you realize, oh, it's just this. It's that easy. Well, don't all speak at once. Does anybody have another piece to add?
So, yeah, like it's the feeling of homecoming and feeling loved and grounded while you are doing the work, while you are loving yourself and laying down the foundation. And also, the piece where Jeff also mentioned about living your purpose completely, and um, feeling into it, because it's like, that when we are moving through our purpose, because that also helps us lay a very strong foundation in building our heaven on earth. And that is where, I personally feel that that is where a lot of people have their own set of upsets, like how to transition from our day-to-day jobs into our purpose. But we don't have to do it till we are comfortable there. It's not like we have to put ourselves on edge, but it has to be very compassionate. It has to be a very loving process. It's so that feeling, I think, that is very motivating and inspiring, that it's not that we have to push ourselves through right into the fear that, oh, what next. But it all has it can be, and it has to be very compassionate and loving.
Yeah, that's beautiful. When you live your life purpose, like you said, you don't have to force yourself. That's the opposite of living your life purpose. It's loving yourself. And so you transition a workplace that does not feel really good for you. But again, it's loving yourself and using these techniques. The mirror exercise we do here in the teachings of union, and also the classes, Twin Flame Ascension School class, and of course life purpose class, as you mentioned, life purpose, which helps you to create a lot of joy in your life, because living your life purpose means you love doing what you do for a living. A lot of people, I think, cannot imagine. I think there's a lot of forcing energy anyway in work itself. That's why we may confuse when you live your life purpose, you should do that too. But doing that in your life purpose feels so uncomfortable that you cannot sustain it. That is why loving yourself is here also the solution. And in living your life purposes, you will come together with the people who love themselves too in living their life purpose. It's an attraction of love again through life purpose, like with your twin flame. You attract your twin flame by loving yourself, and this way you also attract what you are meant to be here on earth, the one gift you have to give to others as we are together. It's about being together. Also, loving what you're doing. And this is totally fine when you do what you love and you get supported through money, having a wealthy life, because we deserve that. And this is a very loving process. Live, also letting go of this belief that it needs to feel uncomfortable to work, but realizing I love doing that and I love doing it the whole day, and it brings me so much joy, and it's just the best thing ever. And you have to come to this place also through a compassionate and loving way, in just acknowledging how you really feel and finding these places where you're maybe numbed out because you forced yourself doing it, as we all transition then from a not good feeling working space to a good feeling working space. That's very cool. And that is all also what it means to live together and create heaven on earth together, is that you feel good in whatever you are doing. You don't need to stop doing anything kind of to enjoy your life, but you enjoy your life because you love what you are doing and you are looking forward to doing it the next day, and you are falling to bed and you are tired because you did too much, and the next day you are looking forward to doing it again because you love it and you loved yourself into it, doing it. Yeah, it's very cool that you mentioned that too, and it's important to realize you deserve to feel loved fully, also in this very important part of life.
Yeah, I bought a couple of cards. Would be a nice touch. We have the Hierophant here, spiritual advisement. So I've just been receiving the teachings from Jeff and Shaleia. We're passing them on through this discussion. If you have a mentor or a coach, you will be receiving spiritual advisement from them. And it's also a card about commitment and going deeper and wisdom. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, work in progress. So like I said earlier, if you're not quite where you want to be just yet, that's okay. Just keep going. You will get there. It will happen for you. It's okay to be a work in progress. It's okay to be where you're at. It's okay to acknowledge where you're at. In fact, you have to acknowledge where you're at in order to move forward from there. There's no shame in it. Wherever you're at is perfect for you right now. And we have another progress card. We have the Knight of Pentacles, steady progress. We have the snail shell there. It's funny because in my Wing Chun class, there's been a bit of a theme the last couple of weeks of progress, following on from confidence. And their conclusion there is that it just comes from practice. So keep practicing the inner work, keep doing the mirror exercise, keep actively healing and watching classes. And you will master whatever it is you need to master it right now and in the future. So, yeah, so take heart. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should be for you. Even if it feels like you're going too slow, please know you're going at the perfect pace. If you feel like you could move a little bit faster, it's okay. You can just choose that. But ultimately, the best pace we can move forward at is always God's perfect pace. So it's okay to allow God to set the pace. You don't have to do it yourself. All you have to do is feel your feelings and love yourself and take the steps that consist of whatever's in front of you in the moment. So it's not complicated. It's beautifully simple. It's really straightforward. And you're doing great. But does anybody have any closing thoughts or would like to expand on these cards or anything at all? No, does everybody feel pretty complete? Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, well, thank you ever so much for watching. We hope that this talk has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye and God bless.